We are live again, bruh. We live, man. Welcome to another stream, day 2. Trying to get 10 more subscribers, 10 more followers. So wherever you're watching this, welcome to the stream. It's your boy Almighty, man. Almighty, bruh. You know what I mean? Let's get to the stream, man. Without too much talking, bruh. Let's get right into it. First, we're going to start with some gaming stuff because apparently there's this new game that came out and I kind of want to check it out. So let's check it out. Feel me? Then we're going to go from there to, everything else. If this thing's going to play today.
And we're back with another episode of Before You Buy. That show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, it's me, your old pal Jake Baldino, and today we're talking about Hell Is Us. This is a really cool game that came out of nowhere for me. Look, it's not perfect, but let me describe it and explain it to you because I think some of you guys are really going to be into it. So, Hell Is Us is a third-person action-adventure game in a modern setting. Well, I mean, it's the 90s, so like you're not like a knight or anything. You're just this weird guy. You're dropped into a foreign country with not a lot of information and a vague mission. The country is like ripped apart by civil war, and of course there are weird monsters everywhere because it's a video game, you know? It is typical video game stuff. It sounds like it, at least on paper, but the way this game kind of unfurls itself is just what makes it so interesting. It's been described as a type of game that does not hold your hands. The developers seem pretty proud of this. The game doesn't push you or guide you in any way that is noticeable. Now, you might be like me, chances are you probably are. You play a lot of games. Maybe you play a lot of third-person action games and action-adventure games that you feel like you can play in your sleep, right? Like, you know where to climb, you know where to go, what to do, what wall to shimmy past, because I feel like at this point you've seen it a million times before. And even still, the game pushes you in such an obvious way with arrows pointing everywhere, everything spelled out to you, everything just so obvious. Hell Is Us kind of serves as the antidote to that. Multiple large, explorable open zones, deep dungeons, NPCs with requests, and with all that, no quest markers, no map, and not even a ton of ways to keep track of your goals or anything you've found. Other than the equivalent of kind of like a Palm Pilot or an iPad for basic loadout and keeping track of leads, you're really on your own. It might end.
You know what? Hold on. Shout out to Zuriwin for following, man, on Twitch. Shout out to you, man.
Up even being a pen and paper style game for you, depending on your memory. And this is what hooked me on this game. So just so you know, before we get into it, I've been playing a review copy, and this footage is captured running on PS5 Pro, and there's no spoilers. But just as a loose setup, you play as Remy, a guy who gets into this country as a former kind of UN peacekeeper, but with his own motivations. He has ties to this land, and he has some things he needs to figure out. So he goes AWOL, he goes over enemy lines or whatever, and sets out into this isolated country. And again, I'm keeping it vague to not spoil anything. I really think that it's just part of the fun here. But, after wandering around the woods for a little bit, shit goes south. These weird abstract horror monsters show up, and you get weapons and tools to fight back. Okay. So the 3 components of the game are combat, exploration, and puzzles. Combat is fairly simple, like once you get the hang of it. A light attack, a heavy attack, a block, and a parry, so enemies can be like staggered to be vulnerable to finishers, and you can dodge. There's also a cool mechanic where
I'm lit as hell, bro.
Strikes, you can time a button press right, and you can actually gain back some health. Get a bunch of hits on an enemy in a row and not take damage, and timing that button press will gain you even more health, so you can kind of gamble it a little bit.
I appreciate it, bro. Hey, the game looks hard, though. It looks hard. I can rock with it, for real. Hey, everybody getting on the stream right now, man. Don't forget to subscribe, follow,
so you have a tactical drone that follows you around. He can scan stuff for you, like for clues. You can use him as a flashlight. But it also helps you out in combat, giving you access to cooldown abilities like drawing enemy aggression away from you, like a distract, a forward-propelled lunge, a drone-lifted downward smash attack, and more that you can discover and equip throughout the game.
This game is Hell Is Us. It's a fire game. It looks good to me. I'm really digging it so far. It looks pretty fire. I'm not even gonna lie. Shout out to Gabriel for joining the stream, man. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of that, as you play, you pick up different magic weapons. A sword, maybe a heavy sword, a polearm, twin axes. You're going to find your favorites and probably settle in. But either way, any weapon...
So bro says my voice level is lower than the volume of the video. Oh, hell nah. Let's correct that.
can be leveled up by using it, and also improved at a blacksmith in a
Let
town.
us correct
Weapons
that.
can be imbued with these certain glyphs that enable special magic attacks. So on that hand, and these are all
Is it
tied to like
corrected?
holding the trigger
How's it
and
sounding
pressing a
now?
face button.
Is the audio
So
good?
maybe like an AOE blast, a heal, a ranged zap, you name
Let me
it.
know if the audio is good.
Weapons and their connected attacks can be specialized into different magic types with cool names like grief, rage, terror, etc. And along with all of that, you're also going to find stuff in
just
the
stayed in my
environment to
shirt.
equip on your character
cough.
to net you active and passive stat bonuses. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually pretty simple. It's basically light RPG stuff. Interesting enough to just keep you looking around for better stuff.
Fire.
Now that's about 40-ish% of what you're
Hey,
doing,
these-
combat stuff.
I
The
like-
rest of the
I ain't
time,
gonna lie,
you're
wait.
wandering around
Wait,
dense,
hold on.
beautifully detailed,
I know I've been,
mysterious, creepy locations, trying to figure out how
I've
to
been ignoring
progress.
stuff, but like,
Trying to
hold
figure
on.
out percent of what you're doing.
Look at these monsters though, bro. Like they look pretty decent. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like I know that the gameplay, I like everything, the HUD and all that good stuff, but the monsters look smooth, bro. It look like some shit that it's fire for real, for real.
Combat stuff.
Look at that
The
shit.
rest of the time, you're wandering around dense, beautifully detailed, mysterious, creepy locations, trying to figure out how to progress. Resident Evil style stuff sometimes, like weird keys to open weird doors, but more complex stuff like using notes and environmental cues to slowly
look hard,
sort
bro.
things out and maybe crack a code or an even stranger type puzzle. Sometimes you'll pick something up and you won't even understand what the hell you need it for a few hours. It's not an open world game, but a lot of the open areas are incredibly open, like full-on towns, villages, parks, deep woods, and more. Exploring these areas makes the game for me. Like, I love the design of these areas. Like, every corner you turn, you don't really know if you're going to stumble upon something useful or a monster trying to kill you, or maybe a hidden NPC that needs some help, or maybe an entire dungeon. Like, the amount of times I explored what I thought was a massive open area only to discover it was actually hiding an even more massive area around the corner or underneath everything just blew me away. It can be staggering at times, just like unpacking the layouts of these levels.
GTA
I keep using the word
6,
unpack
bruh.
or unfurl. Like, it just is that type of game. It's fun.
So, bro, I was asking about GTA 6, bro. So, Zuri is asking about GTA 6, bro. And I'm like, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie. GTA 6 is gonna be fire. But, like, I ain't gonna lie. GTA 5, since freaking, what's it called? What's the name of that game? San Andreas. The other GTAs, it's been getting, like, hard technologically, all that good stuff. But, like, what made GTA so hard to me was San Andreas, dog. Like, no GTA has met San Andreas to me, bro. Graphically, all that good stuff, cool, but like, I like a game where you can, like, you know what I'm saying, get people to join you. I like that stuff, bro. Like, I like teamwork in games, but like, or where you control a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying, as well as the RPG factor, series. So we're gonna see how GTA 6. It's looking like it's just gonna be another GTA 5, but better graphics and I don't know, male and female.
To really slowly undo, slowly unravel, really sink your teeth into. The NPCs especially are interesting because they're kind of like mini puzzles. Many of them just need help in certain ways. Sometimes they need an item you can find and give to them, But again, a lot of it is not spelled out to you. They don't like usually expressly ask for something. It's not a quest marker. It's not obvious. It's not totally tracked. It's super vague. And it's up to you to just figure out who needs what or how someone can be helped.
I wish I had held on to my dad's hand. I hope he's safe. I want him to come get me. Yes, my dad's name is Caspian. Hello?
Oh, no. Okay.
Thanks, Centaurus. Are you hurt?
It does lead to a lot of you wandering around kind of endlessly, sometimes getting lost because, again, you have no map or anything. So for me, this definitely felt like it kind of padded out the length a lot just because of the amount of times I wandered to the wrong place or just straight up forgot what I was doing, or I forgot where a door I saw 2 hours ago was, or I forgot where an NPC I needed to get to was. This can definitely frustrate some players.
I'm one of those people, bro. Like, I enjoy the realism, but at the same time, it's kind of like, bro, come on, bro. You feel me? Like, if you see me wandering for a little bit, give me some clues, bro.
You might find it annoying or tedious, or it can feel too obtuse for no reason. But I couldn't help just finding myself enjoying the ride. I didn't mind it. Again, thanks, I think, to the complex design of the levels, but also the world building, the really, really good music, the ambient sound effects, and visuals. I just found myself kind of always pushing to figure out what was next, how to get to the next thing, how to unlock some weird chest I found hidden in a corner. The game is just built as a really fun Rubik's Cube. And it's not like the most insane challenging puzzle game, like, you know, like some indie puzzle game you'd find on Steam.
I don't want that anyway.
But for me, I think it was like just right. I stumbled, I got stuck just the right amount, and when I finally figured something out, it felt really satisfying. The game has enough, most of the time, where, like, if you're stumped, you can wander around for a while, uncover something else, maybe discover something else, and then come back, and then maybe solve your problem. Sometimes you might feel like you're going crazy.
I like that.
Or you're forgetting something.
I like that blade. I'm trying to catch it right there. I like that blade. It looks like some anime stuff, like for real. And you know, your boy, we into anime over here, so it looked hard.
Like writing stuff down on your phone to keep track, like I did. I just found it worthwhile, and I recommend, if you do play it, to go in blind and don't use a guide. And that world building really works here. The main characters seem somewhat simple, but like the mysterious presentation of it all, you know, the kind of cold, odd sci-fi atmosphere, just the right amount of like dark dread to it all.
The graphics look just good.
It's interesting.
Like,
Plus, in my opinion, the game cuts checks it can actually cash in terms of having something to say and really showcase the horrors of war and civil war and nation infighting and the toll it takes on the individual citizens. Just when you think you have a side figured out, something new comes to light and makes you think of things another way.
You know what's crazy? I don't even play games anymore, bruh. Like, I don't even play games. Like it sounds so crazy. Like, since I started doing content, like really working on content and stuff like that, bro, I've not had time to play video games, bro. Like, not that I don't want to, but like, at most I'll play will be like a FIFA or some shit like that. But I don't even play games like that anymore. You know what I mean? But I still like appreciate it, and I'm still in the culture of games, anime games, you know, content creation. So, you know, it's just, I like to watch game stuff, you know what I'm saying? I react to stuff, you feel me?
But at the end of it all is human suffering. And the game actually goes to some pretty dark lengths to show that. There's some dreary, like dreadful, depressing stuff in this game. But it wasn't just shock value. It actually like just emotionally hits. And for a game that isn't riddled with like, you know, in-your-face acting and constant story or a million cutscenes, just the right amount here and there, it still managed to make me like want to learn about this world more and actually feel a pit in my stomach when brutal things would come to light. You know, just how crappy humans can really be to one another. This is
hey, y'all don't forget to share the stream, bro. Let's get some more people in this mug, man.
Now, I've been saying all this because the puzzles, the world,
and follow
all
and subscribe
is so strong, but I buried the lead here. Man, the combat is the weakest.
Support the small
This
streamers.
is the flaw of the game, for my money. There are difficulty
I
options
really
and
look at this.
modifiers, but on normal difficulty during my playthrough,
I like the clean. Look
combat
at the
lost steam
bosses.
not even
Oh, not the
halfway
bosses,
through.
the
What
enemies.
starts off as pretty tense,
look at it.
challenging stuff, you end up getting
It
used
reminds
to
me
it.
of a
And then the
movie
game
or
doesn't
something. I
really
forgot
up
what
the ante
I saw
or
it.
continue to challenge you over time. You see most of the enemy types pretty early
Bruh.
on, and you're going to be fighting
like
the
that, bruh.
same enemies
Be like that sometimes,
over
Zuri.
and over again until you're sick of them, and it just feels repetitive. Enemies start out scary, and then after a while, they're not. They kind of lose their effectiveness. With only a few change-ups and minimal bosses, it just didn't do enough for me. It kept me like engaged just enough, but it was straight up my least favorite aspect of the game. Especially with a finicky lock-on system that did screw me over a
That's
few
a
times
fat
in
ass
tighter
boss
areas.
right there.
Still, it's just standard-ish, simple
Bruh.
action, light RPG stuff that does.
Bro, I be locking on video games. I mean, you know, they say when it's your passion, bro. If you have a passion or you love something, if you really like some shit, like, you know, you just love it, bro. Like if you can't do one thing with it, you do another thing with it. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't just give up on it. You feel me? Like that's how it be. You know what I'm saying? If you love a chick, you know what I mean. If you can't have her, as long as she happy, right? You know what I mean. If you trying to hoard her for yourself, then that means you don't really love her. You feel me?
Does the job, but I wanted more from it. Visually, the game performed very well.
Man,
for
shout
me.
out
I
to
had
Zuri,
no technical
man.
issues.
W
Aside from one
Zuri,
random
man.
crash,
W
but I was just really
mans, man.
satisfied with the overall
Let's
look
just
of
share
the
this
game.
stream and let's grow,
Crisp,
man. You know what I mean?
detailed,
Shout out to everybody
smooth,
in the stream.
with some
Man. Shout out to everybody
incredibly
watching.
beautifully
You know what I mean?
lit
Tap in.
scenes. As much as it is a dreary, depressing,
Yes,
grim
got a
game,
positive vibes,
it
man.
uses
It's your
color
boy,
really effectively.
Almighty, bro.
And again, technically, I can't speak to the PC version. Again, I only played on console, but this game, to me, looked and sounded great. Long story short, dude, Hell Is Us is just such a weird game. It came out of nowhere for me. And this sci-fi 90s Civil War world just really got its hooks in me. Sometimes a weird, flawed game just comes along and you fall in love with it. And Hell Is Us did that just for me. Like, the sense of discovery in this game, I found fantastic. The sense of really figuring out something tricky is addictive. And the sense of dread and awe and wonder and confusion and mystery and like what's around the next corner the game constantly hits you with, that's just really good stuff. If you're easily frustrated or not into puzzles or you need more engaging combat, you know, maybe you don't like reading weird texts and learning about a made-up civilization and fake video game lore, hey, maybe it's not your thing. Sometimes
Yeah,
it isn't
don't
even
sound
mine,
like my
depending on the
thing.
game.
It
But
looks
with
like
Hell
my
Is
thing,
Us,
but it might
it
not
was the
sound like
right
my
mix.
thing. You
And it's
feel me?
not a full-priced game. It'll probably take you at least 25
Appreciate
30
you,
hours,
Zuri, bro.
depending
I'm
on how
gonna
good your
keep
brain
doing
is.
this every
and,
day.
yeah,
Every day.
maybe you
This
should
is
consider
day
it.
2 of
But hey,
consistency.
that's a
on
before
this.
you buy. You know how this goes.
Yeah,
By
man.
now, I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion. And now I want to hear yours. Was this game on your
Hold on.
radar? Did you play the demo? I think they released on Steam. Or is this coming out of nowhere for you? I'd love to know your perspective.
All right. My perspective is it was not on my radar. I've not been keeping up with shit like this, but it looks fire. You know what I mean? And I mean, I would love to play it. You know what I mean? So hey, shit. If you want your boy to play it, you know what I mean, go ahead and let me know in the chat. Of course, support the channel. You know what I mean? You can get the Cash App, all that shit, or whatever it is. You know, just support the channel. Support the channel. Support the page. But whatever, all that good stuff. Share, like, blah, push, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to something else. Real talk. This is something I want to see right here, right? 2 hours ago. Came about 2 hours ago, so you know what I'm saying.
How's it going, everyone? We've got some notable PlayStation news to talk about in this video, particularly something that's got social media ablaze.
And on some standing out stuff, how can we make the stream stand out more, man? How do we grow? You know what I'm saying? How do we, you know what I mean? Because I got a cheap setup, man. Everything's free, but you know what I mean? But we're trying to get that. Let's go.
As far as some points made by Financial Times, according to interviews with more than 10 of Sony's top game executives, and what they are looking to do and get out of their first-party studios going forward. I'll try to make some sense out of the statement since I think people are jumping a little bit too much to conclusions, but at the same time, you gotta look at Sony's outlook in the position, and I'm not saying you have to agree with what they do, but with what they do, even with something
This
like
Ghost of
Concord,
Yotei
I
looks
can
like it's
at
gonna
least
be hard.
rationalize why
Of
they
course,
are
Ghost of
doing the
Tsushima
things
was
that they're doing.
fire.
So we'll
So
talk
I
about
think this
that.
was gonna be
First of all,
crazy.
Sony is seeking to ensure that its first-party studios, 20 standalone groups, which that sounds like a lot, but I'm sure there are like some smaller groups in there that you don't really think about a lot, but those groups that make games exclusively for its PlayStation console contribute more to overall revenue growth and take measured risks, all without squashing the independence each studio demands to produce hits. According to interviews with more than 10 of Sony's top games executives, designers, and studio founders, the company is trying to balance creation and control in a business that is central to the Tokyo-based group's strategy. Sony is seeking to ensure that its first-party studios, the groups that make games exclusively for its PlayStation console, which take that exclusively kind of out the window at this point, because a lot of that stuff's coming to PC, and that's one of the big contributing factors to increase overall revenue growth, which is their goal, and take measured risks, all without squashing the independence each studio demands to produce hits. I don't want teams to always play it safe, but I would like for us all,
What is
when
bro
we
talking
fail to
about,
fail
bro?
early and cheaply, said Herman Hulse, chief executive of studio business at Sony Interactive Entertainment, which handles the PlayStation brand. What that tells me is they don't want a situation like Concord where they've spent all this money developing the game.
Zuri said I should think of adding some graphics, logos, banners. Yes, bro, I was thinking about doing that for real. Like, I'm gonna do that for sure, for sure. I just need to,
I think what that tells me is they're not going to stop with the live service games.
I just need to move to, what's it called? Streamlabs and stuff. So I said my setup is cheap, so, you know. But, you know, with time, you know what I'm saying? Use what you have till you can upgrade. You know what I mean?
I still think they view that as their ultimate goal for the big gravy train, and we know that every publisher is desperate to get
Bro
that
was
gravy train
talking
going
a
and get
lot
multiple
earlier,
of
bro. I was
those
like, what the
gravy
hell was he
trains going.
talking about?
Whether or not that be feasible, that's another question entirely. And I think desperately chasing that gravy train has its own issues, but you have to look at it from Sony's vantage point. And I get it. You can meme on them all you want about the talk that Concord was going to be, you know, the next Star Wars. That was Sony being, like, incredibly out of touch. If that is a real thing, which, you know, you have to think about where the world was at in 2020 and 2021. And if a bunch of executives got together in a meeting in 2020, 2021, 2022, just remember where the world was. It was different than what it is now. I can totally see them looking at Concord and be like, oh my god, we are cooking with gas. These are characters that are really going to resonate with the modern audience, and they're going to emotionally feel for them. Tell me that you can't see that happening. Yes, you might now look at that in retrospect and be like, wow, they were so out of touch, and I wouldn't have gone that far. I think, you know, thinking that some...
Do y'all even play this game? Do people play this game? Real shit. Am I tripping? As I said, you know what I mean, I'll be observing, but I don't be hearing people talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Am I tripping?
Something resonates with the modern audience always is going to pose a lot of different problems, because how do you define the modern audience?
By the way, Zuri, I'm gonna need you to clip for me. You feel me? If you down, let me know. I'm gonna give you some mod privileges. So I'm gonna need you to start clipping for me, bro. I'm gonna need a lot of clips on Twitch. You feel me? Good moments. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You know what I mean? Let me know.
Audience as this one unified entity, you can't. They're all different people. That's always the inherent problem with doing games like this, that it's going to inherently segment a large portion of your audience. But nonetheless, I can at least see where they're coming from. And with the live service push, I always go back to it. First party offered Sony something, and the goal of first party is, yes, you make these games, they sell a lot of copy, you make some money off of them. But the real goal of the first party games is to offer you value into joining the PlayStation ecosystem, where then they could make a lot of money on you passively. The need for that is still there. It's just not there as much. It's not there as much as it was.
Okay, this is boring. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's just, I thought it was something more, and ended up being something. All right. Okay. Cool. Let's do this then. Look at this. this one. Oh yeah, we on some game shit today, bro. We on some game shit today, bro. Let me give Zuri mod privileges, bro.
How is it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its Ready, Set, Play sale. I know this is a PSN Store sale. A lot of you guys have been waiting for it. You had it marked on your calendar. When is that Ready, Set, Play sale gonna come? Well, it is here, and I am here to look at the deals under the price of $5. Now, these are the deals just from the Ready, Set, Play sale, not the indie sale. I want to do a video covering the indie sale and looking at some of the deals. There's just a lot of stuff across both of the two sales, so keep that in mind. We're just a couple people doing these videos, so it's a little bit difficult sometimes, but we're getting to it when we can, so let's get right into it with the deals available. In the under $5 tier for the Ready, Set, Play sale, honestly, not blow away, but as always, some pretty good stuff that you can find. So let's get started with the classic. Dishonored Definitive Edition is 75% off for $4.99. I mean, I absolutely love Dishonored. I thought Arcane did a tremendous job with the game. I know the games haven't been like commercial juggernauts or anything like that, but it is a bummer after Dishonored 1 and 2, you know, Deathloop, then Marvel Blade, they're chasing the Marvel.
Yeah, congrats to Zuri for being my first mod on Twitch, man. You know what I'm saying? It's only up from here, bro. Day 2, you feel me? Let's get to it, man.
Bag. I want that Dishonored 3, but it is what it is. Dishonored is an excellent action stealth title, and you can really go about the game in a myriad of ways. You can go the more action-heavy approach, or you can go the more methodical, silent, stealthy approach, which I do believe is the more rewarding way to play Dishonored. But again, you can do whatever the hell you really want to do, and for $4.99, you get the DLC as well. Great pickup, highly recommended, and then definitely go play Dishonored 2 as well. Next up, we have Ollie Ollie World.
Bruh, okay, let's go. Bruh, I don't like fucking, I'm not trying to curse too much, but I don't like first-person games like that. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, Dishonored, I wouldn't play this simply because of first-person game. Like, I like third-person, you know what I'm saying, realistically, except for, like, Call of Duty type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, the shooters, I fucks with those. But, bruh, I'm not big on like action games, or that's why I like Cyberpunk. I was so disappointed in Cyberpunk because they made it a first-person game. I was so disappointed in that shit, bro. I was so mad. Fuck.
$4.99. Great deal on Ollie Ollie World, a bold new skateboarding action platformer that's bursting with personality. You'll flip and flow through the vivid and vibrant world of Radlandia, meeting colorful characters as you grind, trick, and air your way to discover the mystical skate gods on your quest for Nirvana. The game's got an awesome art style, incredibly colorful and super charming. If you want something that's a little bit more appealing and more of a feel-good kind of game, I feel like Ollie Ollie World will definitely fit that criteria. $4.99. Seems like a pretty good price to me. Next up, we have Dying Light, the Essentials Edition. Now, we need to talk about the Essentials Edition before you buy this. It's 80% off for $4.99. This gets you the Dying Light base game, the Bozak.
You notice how I didn't even mention anything about the previous game? I ain't playing that shit. I like better graphics.
Core DLC, the Cuisine and Cargo DLC, the Ultimate Survival Bundle, and a couple of other smaller DLC packs. You will not get the following expansion. The following is a pretty major piece of expansion that I feel like is worthwhile to play. I'm going to do another playthrough of it. I already played through the base game again ahead of Dying Light the Beast, but I want to go through the following again. We'll see if I can fit that in with the wave of big games coming out, but with the Essentials Edition, you don't get the following DLC, you just get the base game. You can ultimately buy the upgrade to get the following DLC, but, you know, ideally, I would just wait for the Definitive Edition to go on sale, but the fact is, the Essentials Edition for $4.99 is still a tremendous deal, given that you're getting the base Dying Light game and some of the DLC content for $5. That's still ridiculous and still a great pickup, and I would highly recommend it.
Clearly, I don't even gotta say too much. I just already done told y'all I hate first-person action games. Shit sucks. Skip. I'm going to the next thing. What's wrong with these folks?
So we got Resident Evil 5, 75% off for $4.99. I get that a lot of the Resident Evil games are being remade, and I'm sure they'll get to RE5 at some point. However, it probably won't happen for quite a while, given that the rumbling has it that Code Veronica is next. So I wouldn't be expecting the RE5 remake until like 2029, and at that point, do you really want to wait that long? I still think Resident Evil 5 is a worthwhile game to go back and play. I know people absolutely hated the AI in this game, so if you do have a...
Bro, you know what's crazy, bro? Looking at this thing, you get to start appreciating how, like, technology, like, you wouldn't notice how, like, games have gotten better all the time, but look at this shit. Look at how stiff it is and all that good stuff. Even with the improvements they've done to the AI or to the graphics, it's still like, you're like, hell no.
A buddy to play with that would be ideal, but it's still a worthwhile game to go through solo. I played it solo back in the day, and I still had a fine time with it, so $4.99 for that, pretty good deal. Definitely give that a shout. Rayman Legends, 75% off for $4.99. Pre-Astrobot, as far as high-quality platformers went on PlayStation, there weren't a lot of great options, but Rayman Legends was certainly one of the better options. They had an IP that I think Ubisoft can do so much more with, but I don't know if they'll ever do more with Rayman. Yeah, but just a really, really solid platformer, a decent bit of content, incredibly colorful game, and for $4.99, I think it's a great deal. If you're remotely into platformers, definitely check that one out. A good buy there. Next up, speaking of Ubisoft, this is more in line with your typical Ubisoft game. Far Cry 4, 80% off for $3.99, you guys. I think is a really, really good discount. That's a heavy discount on the game. And Far Cry 4 is still an enjoyable open world game. It very much falls in line with the Ubisoft style of open world game design. That's not inherently a bad thing. It's just, the fundamentals are the fundamentals when it comes to Ubisoft open world game design, and it falls in line. I wasn't blown away with FC4 from a narrative standpoint. I thought Far Cry 3 set the bar pretty high. And Far Cry 4 I thought was a little bit more of the same, and it didn't blow me away, but I still enjoyed it from a gameplay standpoint. It's been so long since it came out. How long has it been?
Bruh, I think the reason why there's so many first-person action games on here is because, bruh, fucking first-person action games suck, bruh. People don't want to see no first-person action game. They want to see a third-person action game. People want to see the body of the person that they're using and shit. They want to modify the characters. They don't want to see through the eyes of the motherfucker, man. What the hell?
North of a decade, I want to say. Pretty sure it was, November of 2014. So this year will be 11 years, which is kind of insane to think about. But for $3.99, I do think that's a good pickup. Next up, the forgotten RGG game, Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. Yes, this was done by the Yakuza developers, and I'm not a Fist of the North Star guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Now, this is a game I'm definitely going to buy. This, look, hold on. You need to see my face when I say this. This is a game I'm going to buy right here. This one right here. Anime as fuck. I had it for a split second like years ago, and I ended up having to let it go or sell it or loss or some shit like that. But this is for sure.
Attachment towards Fist of the North Star pretty much ends with the Omaewa Moshin Daru meme. However, this game is still a really good RGG game. Like, if you like your action beat-em-up style of gameplay from RGG, you will enjoy it. And if you're a big Fist of the North Star guy, you'll probably like it even more than I did. And I think for $4.99, it's a really good buy. Again, a forgotten game, and this is a legit PlayStation exclusive. It's not available on any other platform, never got ported to PC. It's just been available as a PS4 exclusive. So I would say go check it out for $4.99 if you're into the Yakuza style of games and that gameplay style. I think you'll end up having a pretty good time with it.
This is the first game I'm saying for sure. Hell yeah.
Next up, we got Darksiders War Mastered Edition, 75% off for $4.99. Hey, Darksiders 4 got revealed, so not an awful time to go back and play Darksiders 1. I had a good time with Darksiders 1. Man, I remember when the game was coming out. I want to say it was January of 2010. Darksiders 1 and Bayonetta 1 came out right at the same time. And it might have even been on the same day. But Darksiders, I remember there was this rhetoric going around that, oh, it's Legend of Zelda mixed with God of War. And, I can understand why people would say that playing Darksiders. However, Legend of Zelda and God of War are at the absolute upper echelon of video games. And I felt like it always set the bar way too high for Darksiders. Darksiders is a good action game. It's not blow away. I think narratively it's pretty decent, and I would still say it's a worthwhile game to play through, and I hope they do a good job with Darksiders 4 after Darksiders 3 left a lot to be desired. But Darksiders here for $4.99. I think it's a really good pickup. Check it out, and hopefully Darksiders 4, like I said, turns out fairly well. Next up, we have Valkyria Chronicles Remastered, 75% off for $4.99.
I wouldn't play that Darksiders game unless it was the last
I think it's super underrated. I think the story is really engaging. I thought the characters were incredibly likable, even if they're not blowaway. Like, they don't have an immense amount of depth and these crazy character arcs going on for them, but they're likable characters, and I just feel like it's a war story that even if you're not into JRPGs, you'll enjoy the game. The gameplay is so different than most JRPGs as well. I will say that the game can get pretty challenging, and there are just some missions that I wanted to absolutely, like, break a controller playing. Like, the one mission with the tank, I think people that played the game know which mission I'm talking about. It made me absolutely lose my mind because I wasn't going online when I initially played the game. This was back in 2008, and I was just so confused as far as what to do, and I remember that stumped me back in the day for quite a while. But yeah, $4.99 for Valkyria Chronicles Remastered. I think this is a really good pickup. Again, if you need to use a guide for some of the more challenging areas, don't feel too bad. Some of the game can get a little bit confusing by today's standards, so keep that in mind as far as how to navigate certain missions. So yeah, $4.99 on that, though. I think it's a great deal. Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition, 75% off.
I'm definitely not getting that game either.
Really, really solid Metroidvania
this one too.
game
Definitely
that
not getting
all
this
of the
one.
great Metroidvanias kind of gets
Graphics
forgotten
is
about, which is a bummer.
trash.
The competition in the market for high-quality Metroidvanias is just so steep that even a good game like Guacamelee goes under the radar, but like the luchador gimmick to it and the aspect of it, I thought the setting was great. A little bit of comedy there as well, but the gameplay was super enjoyable. Again, a lot of charm to this game as well, so $3.74 on that. Next up, we have Gris, 75% off for $4.24. Man, I've been going to bat for Gris for a while
Zuri,
now.
man.
I think
Got
this is one of
that
those games that
following.
resonates with people very differently, and I think that is the case with
got
games
work to
like
do.
Gris, games like Journey, that do have this emotional aspect to it and really do click with people at an emotional level. That's just naturally gonna be the types of games that you can't really assess the game mechanically as far as its gameplay design. However, as far as the artistic approach of the game, I think it's gorgeous. I think thematically the game is incredibly compelling. And again, you're paying $4 and change for it, and at the very least, you'll appreciate the game for what it goes for and what it does. But for some of you guys, I think it'll really resonate with you, and it'll be an incredibly moving experience for you with all of the themes that they explore. But yeah, $4 and change, a gorgeous game from a visual standpoint and an art direction standpoint, and a good price point as well.
It looks like trash.
Lastly, we have Neon Abyss, 75% off for $4.99, a frantic roguelike action platformer where you run and gun your way into the abyss as a part of Hades, formed a Grim Squad featuring unlimited item synergies and a unique dungeon evolution system. Each run diversifies the experience and every choice alters the rule set. Get ready to unleash hell. Combining furious run and gun action and deep roguelike mechanics, Neon Abyss pits you as a member of the Grim Squad, a task force set up by Hades himself to infiltrate the abyss and defeat the new gods. Death is not the end, as every time you die, you'll find yourself more empowered than before. An evolving dungeon, unlimited item synergies, and hatch and evolve pets as well, and mini games available as well. Neon Abyss available for $4.99. And that is going to do it for me. Again, a ton of PlayStation Store deals under the price of
all them deals. There's only one game and the possible two, which was one was what was that? It was the Fist of the North Star game, bruh. That one, and then the Darksiders game was the possible two. Everything else trash. I wouldn't spend $1. I'm just being real, dog. Like, I'm not doing that. You crazy? What you think? Money falls from trees? Technically, money does fall from trees because it's like, you know, it's paper made out of tree. But you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So yeah. All right. 10 games that seem to have vanished. Ooh, I know we on some game stuff today, but right now we're just on some game stuff. Later on, could come up and be on some other stuff.
Sometimes games are announced, and you get really excited about them, and then nothing. They just drop off the face of the earth, and you're like, what? I thought you were making a game, man. Hi, folks, it's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 games that seem to have vanished. Starting off with number 10, it's Assassin's Creed Codename Hex. Officially announced at the Ubisoft Forward in 2022, the next mainline Assassin's Creed game following Shadows, simply known as Codename Hex. And from all early speculation and leaks, it seems like it'll be set in the 16th century in the Holy Roman Empire during the height of the witch trials in Europe. Honestly, what a fantastic idea for an Assassin's Creed game.
That kind of sounds hella boring to me. I'm not gonna lie.
The trailer revealed next to nothing, though, showed us no actual gameplay. The game's producer did say Hex was aiming at being a very different type of Assassin's Creed game. I don't know what the hell that means, but since that teaser trailer, it's just been straight up radio silent. You'd think they'd have something to share after Shadows, but we've gotten nothing so far from Ubisoft. It's been about 3 years now, and all we have is a working title and some vague clues about the game's direction, and that's literally it. I do expect some kind of update coming soon, though, along with more information about Codename Jade, which is a China-set Assassin's Creed game for mobile devices that's also been pretty silent recently. Another thing I expect, more of you to press subscribe. At number 9.
And hit that subscribe for me too, and follow, and tap in, and all that. Let's go.
Is Star Wars Eclipse, the Quantic Dream Star Wars game. In 2021, we got a cinematic trailer for this thing, and then we got nothing. Now, I know Star Wars as a brand isn't as exciting as it was even in 2021, but this game looked pretty intriguing. It's set in a different era than your usual Star Wars stuff. It was reportedly set in the High Republic era, and that was introduced to most people through the Acolyte, which, that got canceled before they were even able to finish the story. Maybe not the best first impression, but it was also a major part of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, so there's potential in the setting. And the game is being made by Quantic Dreams, the Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain guys. And apparently, it's supposed to have the same kind of branching narrative with multiple characters, mechanics that the studio's known for, but combined with more traditional action-adventure gameplay. So, it's apparently going to be an action game that has that kind of branching story, which sounds super intriguing and also really ambitious for a studio that's never made an action game before. I wouldn't be shocked if that's why this one is taking so long, and why they haven't really revealed anything beyond the initial trailer. Also, they probably don't want to be associated with the Acolyte in any way, shape, or form. There was some cool lightsaber stuff in it, but that was it. Oh my god, Acolyte sucked.
My thing is, I don't like when you show me something without giving me, like, I don't like teasers, bro. Like, have something more substantial. Don't just show me like, oh, this is the idea I got, like that. Nah, show me, like, you know what I mean? Like, you feel me?
At least we know
I'm
it's
trying to wait
probably
5
still
years
coming.
for this
From a
shit.
post on LinkedIn
20
from the
years,
Quantic
15
Dreams
years,
CEO,
shit,
they said they're
that's
still
crazy.
working on their current projects at full pace. It's barely been anything, but at least there's some kind of proof of life on this thing. The trailer is pretty cool, actually, and suggests we might see some fairly different things in a Star Wars game for once. So hopefully we will be seeing some substantial update on Eclipse eventually. And number 8 is Project Mara. Anybody remember this one? Alongside Hellblade 2, Ninja Theory was working on a smaller scale psychological horror game called Project Mara, which got revealed back in 2020. A 2021 dev diary revealed more information about what the game was going to be, a game set in one location with one character that was meant to be a real-world and grounded representation of mental terror. Their goal with the game was to present mental issues as viscerally and realistically as possible, using real research and interviews with mental health practitioners and people suffering from mental health problems. It had sky-high ambitions for this thing, saying it would be a showcase of what could become a new storytelling medium. It also sounded like, at least initially, they wanted to get this thing out fast. Seems like the idea behind this project was to make it with a small team, which would minimize the expense and the risk of making the game. They seemed pretty confident about the game back in 2021, but like pretty much everything else on this list, we just got nothing for years. It wasn't until 2024 that Ninja Theory's studio head woke up from his 4-year slumber to tell everybody that they were still working on Project Mara, along with another unannounced game that had been recently greenlit. With all the layoffs going on at Microsoft earlier in the year, in 2024, there was concern Ninja Theory might be on the chopping block, but that doesn't appear to be the case, so it's possible Project Mara is still happening. Personally, I'm skeptical the game will ever surface. It's one of those things where it sounds both incredibly simple and incredibly complex and ambitious at the same time, which makes me a little, oh, you guys think this is going to be easy, but it's not going to be easy. And that
Nothing
a lot
is
of the
ever
time,
easy,
that
bro.
those are the types of projects that get canceled. But I'm all for getting proven wrong here. And number 7 is Dragon Quest XII, The Flames of Fate. Originally announced during the Dragon Quest 35th anniversary event, the next mainline entry in the long-running franchise has been suspiciously silent ever since. The executive producer of the entire Dragon Quest series took over mobile development at Square Enix. The series' famous, or should I say infamous, composer passed away in 2021, and Akira Toriyama, the acclaimed creator of Dragon Ball and the series' character designer, also passed in
R.I.P. to the
2024. So a lot of the individuals responsible for the iconic look and sound of the series are gone. All these setbacks combined with a lack of any news from the development team has caused a lot of fans to speculate the project has been mothballed or canceled entirely. Obviously, the Dragon Quest series isn't over yet. It's a moneymaker. But it's possible the original direction for the game, it's done. Might still be the case, too. But at least according to at least one source, progress is still being made on the game. From what little has been revealed about this thing, it was meant to be Dragon Quest for adults, so it would have a slightly more mature tone and was also going to have a new battle system. That's all they've done.
I watched the anime of this shit. I think it was the Dragon Quest Kai something. And I don't remember if I even finished it. It was cool. But that's as much as I know about Dragon Quest. I ain't even played the game.
Divulged about it. It's apparently a long way off, but I guess it's being worked on in some capacity. And number 6 is TMNT, The Last Ronin. It's been so quiet, I almost forgot this thing existed. In 2023,
crazy.
PlayStation revealed that THQ Nordic and Black Forest Games were making a single-player action game based on the critically acclaimed Last Ronin comic, which was set in a dark future in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles universe. Basically, Old Man Logan, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I know some people might be like, roll their eyes at that.
I've seen this.
Old Man Logan and the movie it inspired Logan is, in my opinion, possibly the best Wolverine-oriented media, and I don't see how that could be not true of this. I mean, the comic...
For me, it was Wolverine. Like, the one that started explaining his origin. That was the best movie. But Logan was emotional and very emotional. I fucks with it, though.
Is quite good. I don't read a lot of comics, but the Last Ronin comic is actually quite good. The trailer was thin on details, but apparently the game was inspired by stuff like the God of War reboot, which works, I think, for the idea quite well. The problem is Black Forest Games was hit by layoffs and restructuring, which leads fans to assume the game was quietly canceled, but apparently it's still being worked on. It's just the work is being done by some other developer. Who really knows, though? It could just be done at this point. You can never really tell if something is actually going to come out from THQ Nordic, because sometimes things happen and sometimes they just don't. Most of the time, the stuff that gets canned are games with no real value or built-in fan base, and this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and a grown-up one, so it's especially unique, and a lot of people actually want this one. I'm not sure if this is going to ever resurface, but if it does come out, it's going to be a nice surprise. I don't have my hopes up, but I kind of internally really have my hopes up.
I definitely got my
hopes up. And number 5 is OD,
an
all-star collaboration between Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele. It was revealed back in 2023 at the...
Well, shout out to this nigga Peele, bro. Key and Peele, bro. They came from, for me, I came from nowhere, and they been going crazy. Jordan Peele been going crazy, bro. Like, and that's the kind of thing like me, bro. Doing all this content creation, I'm trying to get to that level where, like, what, bigger, Tyler Perry, like bigger, like, you feel me? So it's like, support your boy. We're gonna get there. You feel me? Start with streaming, content. We doing skits. We doing all that, you know, blogs. But soon enough, we gonna boom, boom, movies, all that shit. Just watch it.
Game Awards, and then, you guessed it, nothing. Details about what the game even is have been quite scarce. We know they've got a pretty noteworthy cast of actors on board, and the game uses Xbox's cloud technology to create a unique immersive experience. At the crossroads of virtual reality and cloud processing, a new synergy is found that puts us at a nexus between the crossroads of the... Yeah, I don't really trust corporate speak, but Kojima at least says the game is something no one has seen before. And he calls it a new form of media that's both a video game and a movie or something like that, which, I'm sorry, but a Strand game is just an action exploration game. It's incredible and it's weird and it's unique, yes, but a Strand game is not its own genre, sir. He also stressed this one's going to be love it or hate it, so he's really doubling down after Death Stranding, I guess. I wouldn't be shocked if he tries his damnedest to make it something that more people hate than Death Stranding 2, but I don't know. He's a weird dude. Whatever it is supposed to be, it does sound at least intriguing. So, of course, they dropped the trailer 2 years ago and then said nothing. With all the chaos going on at Microsoft and Xbox in the last few years, there was concern the project had been canceled, but it sounds like it's still ongoing. Xbox has been canceling projects left and right. List candidates like the Perfect Dark reboot and Everwild got canned, but apparently, according to an Xbox spokesperson, OD is still in production. What the hell it is and what you'll actually do in it, or really anything about it, it's a complete mystery right now, but it's still being made.
That looked
And number 4 is the Splinter Cell remake. Sure, the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake has been a long time coming, but the Splinter Cell remake announced back in December 2021 is even more enigmatic. Since it was confirmed to actually exist, we've gotten her a few pieces of concept art and some talking heads saying how important a franchise Splinter Cell is.
At the crossroads of the Nexus!
Ubisoft, they said it was happening, then they've said a big load of nothing. We know it's being rewritten for a modern audience, apparently, and also the game's director quit Ubisoft, so that's always a good sign. Everything we've heard implies that this is one of those full remakes that builds the game from the ground up rather than just give the old game a new coat of paint. Like,
it's going to have to be like a Metal Gear Solid type thing if they're going, like, at this point. You feel me? Like, I don't think that's any other style it could, you know what I mean?
You know, a Resident Evil or a Silent Hill. So hopefully it does get the level of respect it deserves. It also means they're going to have to bring in somebody to replace Michael Ironside as Sam Fisher, which is going to make the remake feel off and difficult. But hopefully they get somebody with a little more gravitas to his voice than the guy that they used in Blacklist. Unlike a lot of other games on this list, there still hasn't been proof of life for this one. No director message from LinkedIn or a random tweet from someone involved. The only thing we have to go on is that this game has some known leaker saying the game isn't canceled and it's looking quite good. That's all we have to go on, though. But the leaker in question is at least generally considered to be trustworthy, so I'm inclined to keep hope up that the Splinter Cell remake will eventually come. The quality of it, though, I mean, we just have no idea at this point. And number 3 is The Wolf Among Us Season 2, originally announced way back in 2017, back when the original flavor of Telltale was still in business. The Wolf Among Us 2 has been so long coming. For fans of the original season, which, by the way, still stands out as one of Telltale's best. When the adventure game studio shut its doors in 2018, it seemed like that was the end for the game, but Telltale was resurrected. Kind of, I guess. It's complicated. I don't want to get into it, but The Wolf Among Us was re-announced in 2019. That trailer shows more actual game than anything else on this list. It actually looks like a thing that exists, but once again, it's a game that got announced and just disappeared. It's only understandable fans would be concerned. I mean, Telltale disappeared once. They're only more likely to go away again now that they're in an even more precarious situation than the original studio. Rumors and speculation run rampant about the state of the game, with a lot of people assuming it's not happening, but apparently it is still being worked on as of October 22nd, 2024, which is, I mean, that's coming up on a year fairly soon. But they did say that the game has not been canceled and it's still being worked on. That would be reassuring, but it was done in response to a possible leaker or whistleblower claiming the studio was in turmoil and that the game was on the verge of cancellation. So it's possible the public statement was just damage control rather than an honest assessment of the state of Wolf Among Us 2. But also, it has been almost a year since then, and they haven't gone out of business, so hard to say. It's up in the air. I do hope that it does come out because the original is great, but it's hard to blame anyone for being skeptical about
clips, man.
And number 2 is System Shock 3. This one goes way back. In 2015, Night Dive acquired the rights to the System Shock franchise. Same year, Outside Entertainment revealed they were developing the long-requested sequel to System Shock 2. In 2019, the game was finally revealed during the Game Developers Conference, but after that, things get murky. Fans wanted a proper continuation of the System Shock series, and at least for a little while it seemed like they were more likely to get a new System Shock sequel than a BioShock one. Now the chances of either seem somewhat unlikely. Other Side lost their publisher, Starbreeze, because of Starbreeze's own financial issues. Then many key developers left the studio in 2019 and 2020, and by late 2020, it was being reported the license had been transferred over to Tencent because Other Side was incapable of working on the project. Warren Spector said that Other Side stopped developing System Shock 3 as far back as 2019, which seems to suggest the game was dead, but apparently not, because in 2025, Night Dive's director of business development said in so many words that the project isn't entirely dead yet, and they might have news to share potentially within a year or so. At least with the recently released System Shock 2 remake, there is renewed interest for the series to continue, and the original System Shock remake did eventually happen, though that published by Cygames, whose bread and butter is most...
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was looking forward to this game for sure.
It's the anime game, so Project Awakening was meant to be their big attempt to break through to the Western market. It got a trailer in 2018, and like clockwork, it's been dead air ever since. In August 2019, a possible demo was registered.
This came in the same time as Lost Soul Aside, for sure. That's when I seen this years ago, but since then, That's crazy.
With the European Ratings Board, but that never went anywhere. In 2021, they showed off some new footage, so the game was still alive up till that point. But then nothing else happened until April of 2024, where publicly available financial documents revealed it was at least considered to be an upcoming game, so it's still not canceled, at least as of then. That's really all anybody knows about it right now. It looks like it has potential, but I mean, who knows? The trailers are suitably impressive, to be fair, but it could also just be vaporware. I do have a bonus for you. Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's so dead it's barely worth mentioning, but at least
bruh, this game is another game. I really Beyond Good and Evil 2. I swear, it's such a big game.
according to Ubisoft, it hasn't officially been canceled. I don't know why they're trying to string this farce out even longer, because the writing's been on the walls for many years. They seriously might as well just cancel the damn game. But as of late June of 2024, they're still claiming the game is coming and nothing's been said since. They even went as far to add new content to the Beyond Good and Evil remaster to add more narrative thread connecting the two games. Michael Ansel, the creator of Beyond Good and Evil, left Ubisoft in 2020. And in 2021, the game's creative director just died at 40, which sucks. Rest in peace. As of 2022, the game still is in pre-production. It's been in development for over 17 years, longer than Duke Nukem Forever. I do not realistically see this game coming out, and if for some miracle reason it does come out, whatever it is not going to be worth the wait, even if it's great. I'm not even saying that that means it's going to be bad if it comes out somehow miraculously. I guess it's possible Ubisoft could surprise us and actually release it and win all the Game of the Year awards, and we'll all be groveling at their feet, proclaiming we'll never doubt them again. But I think you know how likely I think that is, which is not very likely at all. That's all I've got for you today, though. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like.
All right, man. Of course, if you like this video, of course, click like for sure as well. And subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Now, let's see something. We've been on games and games and games. Let's get off games real quick, bruh. Let's get off games real quick, bruh, and see what else popping up. Let's go real quick, cause you know, things be going on, man, and we can't always just only, stick to the game. Look at us right here. All right, Onimusha. See, this is the kind of thing that get me pissed off now. Now I want to check it out. What is this? Onimusha. It's a game, Onimusha. Did the Onimusha on this? I kind of want to check it out though, but I kind of want to check it out, but that's crazy though. All right, let's see what else is on here though. Bruh, little baby, and good for each other. Bruh, I've been seeing this thing going on with this, with Lil Baby and Young Thug and all that good stuff, man. I've been seeing all that stuff going on with Lil Baby and all that, man. And I'm not Lil Baby, Young Thug. It's Young Thug. It's Young Thug, not Lil Baby. Where is it? Where's all that shit? Let's get to let's just touch on some general topics, some shit that everybody be talking about right now. What the heck is it? I'm trying to look for this video. Why I said, bruh, oh my God, this joint right here. Bruh. Okay, real quick. As I said, we just going. Let's kick it in. Shout out to the man Cliff, man.
The score and what the lick read, man. It is your humble host, crispy, clean Cliff Dog over here at Cliff World TV, man. Say, dog, do me a favor, man. Go subscribe to the second channel, Cliff World Reloaded. Also, follow your boy on Instagrams at Cliff World TV 1. Say, man, look, I don't know what's going on. You understand what I'm saying, man? But it's looking like Lil Woody is in the middle of the street, head bust wide open. He ain't moving, man. I don't know.
Oh, damn. What? Hold up.
Bust wide open. He ain't moving.
Y'all seen that, right?
Movie, man. I don't know if he fell off a motorcycle. I don't know if somebody came and bust his dome, bro. I don't know what happened to this, man. But say, man, pray for Woody, man. Let's get into the video.
Don't move him! Don't move him! Don't move him! Don't move him! No, not Lil Woody.
Bro, look.
Bro.
It's ketchup. YouTube. Oh. Bro, I thought he was
I was so eloquently able to see, man. Ain't no telling, bro, what really happened to Woody down there, bro. I just seen he posted a video, you dig me, man, saying that he still love and got respect for Young Thug or whatever the case may be. Yeah, man. Right now, it's unsure as to what actually took place, man, but y'all already know. Details come to the forefront. I'm gonna be keeping y'all posted, man. Not show a certain part.
I heard, hold on. I heard what happened, bro. Hold on. I heard I know who got the information, basically, bro, on what happened, bro. If y'all know who Lil Woody is, bro, there we go. Y'all already know who's gonna have the info right here, bro. Poetic Flacco, bro. Shout out to Flacco, man. That nigga be having all the info. We still gonna play.
The internet currently believes YSL Woody is dead, and here's why. One user wrote, "There is no reason on this God-given earth that I just seen Woody appearing to be dead on someone's IG story." Another user wrote, "Now YSL Woody is laying flat on his back with blood pouring out his head. Man, Atlanta is not real." Another Twitter user also wrote, "The boys done caught up with old YSL Woody. Guess is getting a little serious in Atlanta." Another user wrote, "YSL Woody did? What the F?" This tend to be the current rumor that's going on. Now, it's been about 15 minutes since this rumor, began kind of popular. Another user wrote, "YSL Woody dead?" Well, here's what's really happened. YSL Woody was just found and recorded in the middle of the street, unconscious, bleeding from his head. A lot of people is already pointing towards nefarious activities, pointing towards Young Thug potentially being involved. I know the real story. I know what happened. I know YSL Woody's current status, whether he's alive or dead. So we're going to discuss everything in this video and, discuss and clarify whether or not the internet rumors are true. Now, the reason why a lot of people is pointing towards Young Thug and claiming that Young Thug is involved in YSL Woody being found unconscious in the middle of the streets is because ever since Young Thug got exposed for snitching in that interrogation video, YSL Woody has been relentless towards exposing and speaking on Young Thug.
If y'all know, if you keeping up what's going on, Young Thug right now, so I said, is on the heat, you know what I mean? And I said what he was speaking on this thing, you know what I mean? We're going, I'm gonna react to the Young Thug thing in another, after this, but this is crazy.
He made people mad. People when they dig up the videos. Now people don't dig up the videos. You are what you are, buddy. You official on the Woody and Charleston White team. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm okay with being a snitch. Because I know what I did. I know what I've been through. But, nigga, you is a snitch, too, nigga.
God damn.
And I ain't happy about it. I'm mad about it. Because I've been knowing this the whole fucking time.
Oh,
and I didn't even say nothing.
Oh.
I sat right here and still let the blame be on me. Because of the love I have for you. But when y'all niggas come out of jail and y'all brought that stupid stuff out of here, I left that stupid stuff in jail. Y'all brought that stupid stuff out here. Yeah, I'm mad about it.
Calling Young Thug a rat.
Woody has really become an upstanding citizen type deal, civilian, good guy. Real talk. It's crazy, but shout out to bruh for really trying to, you know what I mean? I know he's an entertainer, but you know what I mean?
While still living in Atlanta can certainly get you hurt. Young Thug is still tapped in. Young Thug is still well respected, and Young Thug still got people who's ready to crash out for him. But YSL Woody calling Young Thug a snitch and grouping him in the same category as himself and Charleston White did not get YSL Woody hurt. Did not get YSL Woody killed, right? Even though that's being parroted right now online and that's being pushed in several pages are pushing this as if Young Thug got YSL Woody killed and YSL Woody is dead. So what actually happened, and I have to kind of like brush your bubbles, I'll usually wait long enough to let y'all kind of run with these rumors. But because the street dudes is taking this as a W, we gotta kind of, curb their enthusiasm. So what exactly happened is YSL Woody loved to ride his bikes. You guys can see right here, Woody rides his bikes everywhere, okay? YSL Woody has a very hard time keeping a driver's license. That's just a fact. YSL Woody was pulling up to an event tonight in Atlanta. Now, a lot of y'all love to say YSL Woody be hiding inside. YSL Woody don't be out nowhere. YSL Woody don't want no smoke. But YSL Woody is always outside every weekend at the same place.
How many times a bro say YSL Woody, bro? Just say he or whatever. Like, YSL Woody, YSL Woody, YSL Woody. Goddamn.
YSL Woody went to that place tonight. Now, when he was pulling up, he had a collision with somebody else on his bike. That collision threw him off his bike, and YSL Woody fell and hit his head really hard because he's not wearing no helmet, no nothing. When he hit his head, YSL Woody fell unconscious. At this moment, while we're speaking, he's still unconscious because I'm making this video 30 minutes after the incident. YSL Woody and ambulance have been called. He was put in the ambulance on a stretcher, but as of now, he's currently unconscious because that's the last update I got. By the time you watch this video, I understand there's going to be more updates. I'm making this video literally minutes after it happened, so as of now, he's still unconscious. If you watch this video a week from now...
So there we have it. That's what happened to Woody. That's crazy, man. Prayers to bro. Well, hopefully bro gets, you know what I'm saying? Because that right there is crazy. I seen that. I was just like, damn, what the hell? What the heliante? Come on, man. Oh, that's the glitching up like a one.
You know the score and what the lick read, man. It is your humble host, crispy, clean, Cliff Dog over here at Cliff.
I don't know why it's glitching up, y'all. I tried. But, one shit. My goal is to get on here. Every time I get on here, at least stay for, you know what I mean? We got goals to hit, man. You feel me? All right. Let's see, what else is popping up in this mug, bro? You feel me? I really want to check out those game things, but now I'm just looking through stuff. Look at this, bro. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you about the Young Thug situation. All right, so look at this. Oh yeah, glad that someone just had the video. There was other people that got the videos too, but like, I'm like, this. He might have everything compiled together right here.
Right now, Young Thug is getting accused of snitching. Yeah, they saying Young Thug out of all people out here telling, which is wild because for years and years, even when he was in prison, he was dogging Gunna for snitching. Gunna took that Alfred plea. Thug was like, oh, he telling and he ran with it. But right now, the whole internet kind of going against Young Thug because some interrogation footage dropped the Thug, chatting it up with 12, telling him, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Promises, make promises. Anytime you ever think you want to know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But don't tell the world.
And so this footage came out. Now the internet and everybody really got something to say about Thug right now. And people were waiting for Thug to come out and respond. And as y'all gonna see in this video, the way he treating this situation is not it.
It's
probably the worst look for Thug because honestly, since he got out of prison, he ain't been on the best run. Every time Thug pop out in the news, it's never for, oh, you know, he dropped some hard music or he did this. It's always because he embarrassing himself or he disses somebody who ain't had no reason to be dissed. But let's go back a few months. Thug first got out, he finally free. After years, people was thinking, you know, Thug was about to come out, he was gonna be in that mode. I'm talking about straight dropping good music or at least the EP song, sir.
This situation is basically when that situation, as they say, pride comes before a fall, or when you point at a finger at somebody, the other fingers are pointing at you. At least that's what it looks like. You feel me?
Thug got free and kind of put his career on the back burner and took the antics full force. Thug got out almost a full year ago, and the only thing we done got from him is a single and a couple features, but we still ain't got no project. We still ain't got no real album release date, none of that. A couple months ago, he was teasing this UY Scuddy project. He teased it. He was like, it's coming soon, it's coming June. It never came. So to this day, still no At the Prison Young Thug project. Then, you know, we compare it to his #1 enemy right now, the nigga arch nemesis Gunna. Gunna on the run of a century. Gunna came out of prison. He dropped the album. He dropped the smash hit. Gunna changed the whole perception around his name because the music he was putting out was that good. But we can't say the same for Young Thug. Gunna done followed up good album after good album for years since he done got out of prison. Thug ain't even been out a full year yet, and all we've seen is controversy, no music, people really not liking the music that he done put out.
Damn.
It's not looking too hot for Young Thug.
Not right now, at
But
least.
like I said, Thug gets out, and instead of focusing on good music in his career, he would really get to pushing it with the internet every chance he got. And I mean, even after he got free, he was still throwing shots at Gunna, calling him a rat, basically every chance he got. XXL wrote this back in November last year. This was a month after Thug got free. On Saturday, November 9th, Thug went to X, formerly known as Twitter, to let off a tweet that may come as a surprise to some rap fans who thought everything was cool between Thug and Gunna. As part of Thug's plea deal to get out of jail on probation last week, Brian Steele asked the judge to allow the two rappers to work together, which was granted. A tweet would get sent out that said, "Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you." Then he would delete the comment, but before Young Thug could delete it, this is what fans would say. Fans started to respond what he had to say. There was a mixed reaction based on what happened in court last week and those who still believe Gunna is a snitch for taking his own plea deal in the YSL RICO. So some people was like, Gunna a rat. Some people was like, Young Thug, why is you still on this? But remember, Thug got out of jail, but he was on probation.
Bruh, by the standards of the streets, all of everybody, like, bruh, that shit don't even matter at this point no more. Nobody follows the old rules. Even the old rules didn't matter to the people that created it, bruh. The La Cosa Nostra or whatever it is, the old mafia or even whatever. People been snitching since they created that rule, bro. Just being real. And I say you should be that person, but like, I don't know why people were stressing out. Currently now, people don't care. The killers are the snitches. Or the snitches are the killers, whatever it is.
Probation. He was on real strict probation. They was telling him to really watch what he say. But low key, I think Twitter and social media as a whole is gonna be Young Thug's downfall. And what I mean by that is you're gonna see him diss these people. You're gonna see him diss Gunna. And even when he was dissing Gunna, people felt the way about that. People was like, maybe this is not the smartest decision after you just came out and got put on this strict ass probation, knowing you gotta watch what you say. So for you to keep dissing this man, it don't seem like a good idea.
Bro.
Then to make it all worse, back when Young Scooter died, rest in peace, they was trying to take Thug freedom away because Scooter passed, right? And instead of Young Thug, not saying anything or just getting online and be like, rest in peace, he started talking about the DA. He started talking about the people that was actually working his case. And when 12 seen that, they was trying to get his probation took. The Variety wrote this. Young Thug has been accused of violating the terms of his probation as Georgia prosecutors are seeking to revoke it over his social media activity. Prosecutors filed a motion to revoke his probation on Wednesday, claiming that Thug violated it with posts on social media. The filing states that he tweeted an image of an investigator with the Atlanta Police Department who was involved in his trial, accompanied by the caption, "The biggest liar in the DA office." In doing so, prosecutors assert that he demonstrated a blatant disregard for the law, the safety of witnesses, and the integrity of judicial proceedings. So Thug got out. He on his probation. Like I said, I keep saying it, but this nigga knew he had to watch what he say. Yet he would get on Twitter time and time again saying this about this person or saying that about the next person. But for him to talk about the Atlanta Police Department, an investigator with the Atlanta Police Department, was a crazy decision. And they was really trying to take his freedom away over this. So when I get to what's going on today and yesterday, you're going to be like, damn. Why is Young Thug even still tweeting? This is the worst decision he could be making. But them tweets ain't just...
Bro, bro's not lying, bro. Shout out to Get Like Fritz, bro. Real shit.
In with Atlanta Police Department, the internet was not messing with Young Thug over some of these tweets he was sending out. So a couple months ago, what was this, June or maybe the end of May, Kid Cudi had some problems with Diddy come up. Well, there was old problems. If y'all don't know, years ago, early 2010s, Kid Cudi was dating Cassie, the one that's involved with Diddy. So they messing around. Diddy found out. Diddy was like, man, I'm not with that. So he would get mad. He went in dead ass, blew up Kid Cudi's car. Now this was all them years ago.
That was crazy
Kid
too.
Cudi's probably thinking, man, this ain't even ever gonna come up again until Diddy went on trial again. Diddy in trial. Y'all know the whole situation going on. And they was calling up witnesses. And one person that needed to be called to that stand was that boy Kid Cudi. So he goes to the stand, he say what he needed to do, and he get up out of there. That was that until Young Thug would get on Twitter embarrassing himself once again. Cudi went to court, Thug get on Twitter talking about, damn, Cudi a rat. Which I don't understand why he trying to put these street principles on the Kid Cudi when y'all know Kid Cudi don't really present himself like that. Kid Cudi not no street nigga. Kid Cudi has never portrayed himself to be a part of these street
This is
antics
true,
or allow
but
these street rules to apply to him. So
that's now, bro. The rule is, you know, because hip hop is so popular, mainstream, the culture is is bleeding into everything, just being generalized. Everybody just associating everybody by the same rule, and mind you, the rules that don't even exist, that don't matter no more. Which it's just a whole, it's just a joke. The whole thing is just it's a lame joke.
for Thug to tweet this out, he got hella backlash. It was a big part of the internet really looking at Thug like you are a grown man still tweeting stuff like this. You just beat a Rico and you still tweeting stuff like this. So really over this past year, Thug done been pushing against the snitching agenda. I mean, he been publicly hating rats for years, every chance he got. Like I said, he would basically be on that all rats must die time. And that was cool and all up until these past few days. Now, Thug right now is really looking like the biggest hypocrite in hip hop. 10-year-old. Footage randomly popped up online of Thug speaking to 12, and it wasn't a, oh, F y'all, I ain't gonna tell y'all nothing. It was a lot of chatter.
This my from New Orleans. I'm from Atlanta. This was in Atlanta, and I was in New Orleans. I said, what the f? That was so weird. They all shot at to us. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who the f it is. They said Roscoe, but I don't wanna. I ain't finna. I don't wanna block. I don't wanna like block out y'all case by saying Roscoe didn't do that. Knowing Roscoe, man, that man scrub. That fool. I'm like.
And when it's touched online, the whole internet, the whole world was on his ass. And I mean, he kind of asked for it, especially with the way he done carried himself since he done got free. What did he tweet a couple months ago? He got on Twitter talking about, if you're a rat, you might as well make some gospel music. And people been trolling that man. Go on Twitter right now. All you gonna see is Young Thug gospel memes. They got that nigga in the church. They got him on the church glass. Like, Thug is getting trolled right now. So much so that Hip Hop DX will write this. Young Thug is facing tons of backlash on social media. Been recirculating alleged leaked audio of a 2-hour interrogation in which he appears to name drop Pee Wee Roscoe. According to Thugger Daily Twitter account, the audio originally surfaced 2 years ago, and that account also pointed out that DJ Academics reshared the video at the time. Fans been having a field day with the drama. Many of them brought up the ongoing beef with Gunna. Young Thug ratted and he went so hard on Gunna despite him not doing anything against him. Another person said, so he ain't mad at Gunna no more. He can't be after this. So Thug came out and he name dropped.
That's the thing about, so I say, when you point a finger like this, the other ones is right here. You feel me? Same shit. Like, that's why I always react from a point of empathy. That's my whole brand about positive vibes. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be on Almighty Bruh or it be on Bruh Talk or, you know, or whichever my other channels it be. Real shit.
Pee Wee Roscoe. So Roscoe did 10 years behind Lil Wayne tour bus getting shot up back all them years ago. And that footage of Young Thug, you know, talking to the interrogators, kind of got people feeling like Young Thug was the reason that this man got 10 years because he name dropped him, said he did this, said he did that. And, you know, people was thinking he was about to get online mad, talking crazy about Thug, saying this, saying that, but he would get online and defend Thug. He was like, man, Thug ain't no rat, Thug solid.
Yeah, I seen that.
Shit's like, this nigga brainwashed. Did Thug pay in the bag? Is YSL throwing that bag over to him from the other side?
Politic, man. Jeff, clean as Listerine, man. Clean as Irish soap. You feel what I'm saying? I done the time. I did that. That's what you supposed to do. When you go in the interrogation room, that's what you do. He told you, man, we sell the Wayne Carter weed. What the f is wrong with you? You feel what I'm saying? No, a statement is this right here. Lineup selective. That's him. He did that. He didn't do that. He did what a taxpaying citizen do. A real, kept it solid, kept it overly real. You feel what I'm saying? Really tried to pull me out the hole. So shit, I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when it come to the PR now, y'all don't remember when I was locked up. Now, let me just show you how the PRs and the internet selective politics. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep it real. When I was locked up and Jeff was locked up, we went viral when they was like, that's the type of friend you want. He was like, man, Roscoe ain't told y'all the damn thing. And we're gonna go and put it on the table. Yeah, man. He said my name, you already told him. Yo, Roscoe wouldn't do nothing like that. Yo, Roscoe sell him weed. Roscoe, yada yada. Nah, man. Come on, man. He ain't never put me on the scene or no crime or attachment to no crime.
He just said what bruh said. Russell selling weed. So he's saying that statement is not part of the issue because it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? I'm guessing that's what he's trying to say. It's like, bruh, it's just a regular thing. Everybody know I sell weed. I got locked up. I'm guessing that's what he's trying to say. People saying, bruh, for him even just saying that, even though it's general information, he helping the cops type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the idea. You help, you know what I mean? That's what people are saying. You feel me? Now, for me, in general, I feel like, hey, hey, bro, there must be more information that, you know, more detail that we don't know about. You know what I mean? This is just this little instance, and the niggas known themselves for a long time. So, if he's saying he cool, hey, but doesn't mean that him being cool with it, you know, abolishes the whole situation. You know what I mean? Because, you know.
Thing he helped me, that could have costed him.
But at the same time, who are we, the public, to judge him on how he do shit? But that's the whole gangster shit is about other people's opinion. You being gangster is not about you. You know, like being gangster is about other people feeling you gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the crazy thing about being quote unquote gangster or real or tough or hood. Other people have to feel that about you. It's not about what you. And that's my whole thing about that. All that shit don't matter, bro. Just this shit's out.
So come on, man, y'all got to be crazy. You feel what I'm saying? Nah, nigga, a rap is that shit like now, like. You see what's going on. You can't buy me. You can't pay me. Come on, man. I'm just like this Infinity. Third eye open, man. You feel what I'm saying? Well connected, overly respected. My mama couldn't do that shit behind. You feel what I'm saying? You know how good it feel, nigga? They say I told, I stole, I rolled. You feel what I'm saying? They said everything by P. You know what I'm saying? I turned them over to a G. Come on, man. No, selective politics, what y'all doing? Why 6ix9ine ain't no good? Y'all hanging with Ghana.
They got that hood talk, that pimp talk.
In the game, you feel what I'm saying?
Slick
roll
talk.
And told,
Slick
ain't got
talk.
on the stand with on demand. Yeah, that ain't, come on, bro. I'm looking at the internet every day. Y'all let a nigga get on the stand and say he tricked him. Ain't nothing tricking about that, man. Come on, man. I love you, Jeffrey. You kept it overly real. Out of 30 man, only one I can look in the eye, because you know about law, you my only co-defendant, man. Come on, man. We still here with no tear, man. Made it through the storm without a bruise. Now I see the world is totally confused.
The thug would respond back to all this footage saying this. They didn't play my interrogation video in court because I helped my brother. Rat where? Wasn't just Young Thug responding to this, though. YSL Mondo, co-founder of YSL, would get online, not defending that nigga, but calling him a rat, saying that people was brainwashed, saying that Thug is snake.
A nigga just beat a Rico. Come home, still talking about nigga rat. Bro, that's God. That ain't nothing but God biting you back in your ass, bro. Cause you probably been thankful that you just beat a life sentence in a Rico and came home and minded your business and been home. But instead, you still coming out pushing the rat narrative, bro, and all that, this, that, and the third. Now look, he came back and bought your bitch in the ass. But that ain't the key. Brainwashed people. He still got more bit talking about, and y'all heard it with y'all own ears. You got motherfuckers talking about his AI. It did that in the third. And, oh, he ain't rat on nobody. Bro, if you sit down with 12, bust out and say these words. If y'all talking about a nigga like Gunner ratted from saying, yes, ma'am, you mean to tell me this not making a nigga a rat by saying, they said Roscoe shot the bus up. And then Roscoe did 10 years behind, and you just got on the internet talking about didn't rat on you? Boy, your ass so brainwashed, it's sickening. Y'all need daddy figures, and y'all sitting back waiting on something good, waiting on something to happen. Like, yeah, I'm gonna stick around. Maybe a nigga put me on. Maybe a nigga I can get rich. I'm not studying the internet, but I'm just letting y'all know how brainwashed and weird the world and the internet is. Y'all, Roscoe, you the worstest. Twin, you worse than the rat itself. You did 10.
See, I get his thing. If you gonna say for someone just admitting to it that's telling that you gotta, I get that, but that doesn't necessarily, you know what I mean? Doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, well, my whole thing is it's just like beauty. Like I be saying, like, well, beauty is personal, bro. Like, and that's the thing with this whole snitching, writing, all this thing, street code. It's still personal, bro. You think it's as general as it is in the sense of like how someone interprets your shit is what matters to them, bro. Like it's so crazy, fool. Like it's wild. Like, nigga, you could be the realest nigga, bro, but if another nigga just feels like you walked a certain way that was off, and his opinion now matters more than how you feel about yourself in the streets. This shit is crazy, bro.
10 years twin behind shit, Roscoe. You did 10 years behind me, brother. And you just come on the internet and say a nigga didn't tell on you when everybody just heard this man say your name a few times.
And so after Thug got all of this backlash, he would get on Twitter trying to defend himself. But it ain't go well with the internet. Every time he would say something, the fans would just clown him. The internet would just clown him. And he would get on Twitter and say this motion got filed because the detective lied and said I made a statement in the back of a police car. Stupid, that would never happen. And then he would post the paperwork along with the tweet. The paperwork would say this. Based on information and belief, the prosecution and some of its witnesses, included but not limited to Detective Quinn, may wrongly stated that Jeffrey Williams was in the back of the police car at some point and gave information on the murder case. Same.
Yes. They had said that bro was, you know, when he was younger, he had told type shit. Like he was chilling in the back of the car talking. I don't know if it's this audio, but there was type shit as well.
It's untrue. However, same also places Young Thug character an issue by being in a locked police car and having information on a murder case. So Thug would tweet this out. But this is where other people in the industry will, step in. Rollo, another Atlanta rapper, will apply to Young Thug saying this. Well, bitch, I lied to the feds for real, and you still called Lil Baby and told him to cut me off. I wasn't right. So now you're going to have to go through what me and Gunna went through. And we waiting on that gospel album too, twin. And Thug will respond back to this in probably the worst way he could have. He basically said, I snitched and I'm sorry. Thug would say, see, the difference between me and you is one of your friends said you didn't lie. You actually told on real people. You said that somebody actually did something that they was arrested for. I made an honest mistake saying that we sold Lil Wayne weed to try to prove a point to detectives that we wasn't beefing with him. See the difference? And let's not forget, you told Fonda you would take the stand on me and Lucci, in our case, to get out of jail. But what? Thug really embarrassed himself right now.
Bruh, nah, bruh, that has to be the funniest shit, bruh. That gotta be, yo, that has to be one of the funniest shits, bruh. That's crazy, bruh. Oh my God. Brother said, I made a mistake. You feel me? Mine was a mistake. You feel me?
What do you mean you made an honest mistake saying that you sold Lil Wayne some Zop? And
what do you
mean? Response to this tweet, it got Young Thug in hell right now. Every tweet is saying, oh, so Young Thug admitting he ratted. Niggas saying Young Thug a rat. They making rat memes. You know the pit with Young Thug reaching over Lil Durk? Them they turn that nigga to a rat. They cooking him right now. So, in other words, Thug did all this dissing Gunna, dissing rats just to basically admit he told and then it was a quote-unquote honest mistake. And it was everybody weighing in on this situation.
Man, I ain't gonna cap with y'all, man. Listen, I'm having a absolute blast. Now, here's the thing. I'm a civilian. And I think rappers don't realize that most civilians don't care about snitching. We really don't care. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, I listen to King Von, I listen to Killers. I don't want to kill people, and I don't care about killers. I don't even like killers. I don't like criminals, but I listen to the music. I'm watching the street right now. They're going through hell. Yo, everybody, they're having crisis management teams trying to figure out, they're fighting for their lives right now, man. Yo, who's a snitch, who's not a snitch? It's a snitch off. This is great. Yo, I love when streets have to prove themselves to us. Because we watching like, we really don't care, but sure, crash out, go ahead. We'll just keep watching.
Hey, listen, I'm finna slaughter Young Thug. I got the Anton Daniels tonight. I got Big Bank Saturday. I got Say Cheese TV tomorrow. I'm finna go on a run with this real. Thanks for that alley hoop, Thug. Thanks for that alley hoop. I'm finna go on a run. Say, I'm coming down court behind the back. I'm finna go on a run, baby. Ooh. Say, listen, I prophesied this. Right now, Say Cheese TV is looking at all these old videos. I told y'all, Young Thug.
That's crazy.
I'm always willing to bet with any rapper. If they keep Young Thug ass locked up 6 more months in the conditions he in, he'll tell to get out of jail too.
Damn.
They keep him 6 more months.
But that was before the video came out before. Like the video was of a thing he said before. Though I don't think it's new. I think it's old. Like before he got locked up.
Locked up in them conditions like that there, he'll tell to get out of jail too. He about ready to break.
Listen, I have destroyed the hip-hop community. I have single-handedly,
This nigga is just...
me and Lil Woody, when Woody did, I started first. I have single-handedly destroyed the hip-hop community. You can't deny that.
Bruh.
You have the right to remain silent. The street niggas I used to watch before, they say, I don't want to talk to no motherfucking police. Fuck you talking about. Take me back. You gonna bring it. First thing they tell you before you sit down is, you do know you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have a right to attorney. You have a right to have an attorney present. We don't talk to police. Man, we're willing. I'm gonna call Scarface. Scarface got a whole song talking about we don't talk to police. I thought
this man is a character, bro.
And you mad at Yak got it. You mad at Gunna. Gunna don't have no interrogation tape. And everybody mad at Gunna. This is what I tell y'all. Hip hop is fake. They pick and choose. Oh, come on over here, Young Thug. Turn in your jersey, Young Thug, and come on over here and sit down with the tattletale niggas. You didn't take the stand.
That's crazy.
Tattletale. Come on over and come.
You didn't take the stand, but you told. You didn't take the stand, but you told. Tattletale. That's crazy. Damn, man.
Gonna tell at some point when they get in trouble with the law. You can't beat the Lizzo. You cannot beat the Lizzo. I know I can't beat him, so I know. I learned that.
This man's his delivery is bad, but his message.
But the situation's still going on, and it's getting more updates like every hour. And I don't know what it is about Young Thug, but he really has been this controversy machine since he done got out of prison. And it's not like, oh, he a controversy machine, but he feeding the streets. Thug ain't feeding the streets. He's only been feeding niggas controversy. He's only been giving people more reasons to not like him as a person. Young Thug is a legend. That nigga done had classics on classics. But with the way he's showing himself and the way he's showing his character, people is really looking at Thug interesting. They like, nigga, you was too old to still be acting the way you acting. You a grown ass man and you bringing up rats every sentence. You bringing up gunner every chance you get. So people is like, what are we talking about? But then Twitter is just making it all worse. And I'm saying this because, like I said before, Thug is sitting here on this strict ass 15-year probation where they probably watching every single thing he's doing, everything he's saying, every move he making. 12 is watching because you know they waiting on this nigga to slip up one time so they can shit him back. So for him to get on Twitter and defend himself from snitching allegations, basically admitting that, oh, I lied to the police and I didn't say this and I did that, like they not watching him, like they not waiting for him to slip up just one time so they can send him back to the pen.
See, yeah, that's true. I get your point, but you need to also remember that his job is being a celebrity. And being a celebrity is not just in making music. It's about the way you carry yourself, what they call it, your image. You feel what I'm saying? That's why they work on so much on image. A lot of people have talent, but what makes you a star is the way you carry yourself, your presence, when you come in somewhere and stuff like that. And being social media present is a thing too. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's part of the job, realistically, like, you know, and that's part of the thing, your brand, right? So understanding those concepts is what makes you an entrepreneur as opposed to like just a worker. And you know, understanding those concepts with his thing, same shit. You feel me? So yeah, man, like I get it. He definitely shouldn't be talking about. He's a lot of other things he could do, but I guess pride is also a factor in here for sure. You feel me?
Thug got too much money to even be responding to some shit like this. Because me personally, if I was him, I'm not responding to none of this. I'm not calling nobody no rat. I'm not talking about the
Me
DA
too,
on
bro.
Twitter.
Big facts.
I'm not even responding to people calling me a rat. Because I got too much money for that. Let's say I was Thug and I did rat. I'm still not going to respond because
I wouldn't even be in the situation if I was him. But they just assume I was. Hell no, bro. Like, bro, I'm out of the way. I'm not coming out and talk. I'm done.
I like my freedom. And then it's like Thug done seen firsthand that they tried to take away his freedom over some tweets, yet he gonna get on here and do all this crime talk on Twitter and all this rat talk. This is a terrible move. Then on top of that, what? All this rat allegations coming out, 21 Savage done following him. The fans just looking at him sideways. What's next for Thug? I don't really know, but this is a real bad look, and I'm gonna need this nigga to lock in before one of these tweets get him sent back. What do y'all thought?
All right, my thought about this situation, bro, if I'm being completely 100, bro, it's quite simple, bro. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this whole situation, bro, it's just, bro, come on, bro, Young Thug, bro, like, it be like, double standards are a thing that people love to do, you feel me? People love double standards, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I said my whole brand is built on empathy, bruh. You know what I'm saying? If I make a mistake, you can make a mistake. If you get to glory, I can get to glory. If you fuck up, I can fuck up. You know, it's just, that's why we don't point fingers. We react and, you know, you feel me? Empathy, bruh. You know, laugh jokes, crack jokes, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's all love. But, yeah, you know, this whole thing was pride come before fall, man. You feel me? But I don't know, you know. Bruh, still bruh, you know what I mean? I'm not about to jump on the bandwagon and be old, you know, it's just, bro, times have changed. Think you need to change with times. So being a snitch, there's no exact definition these days. It's kind of very broad, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's up to a personal interpretation and stuff like that, bro. Like, and then you coming out, you know what I mean? And then having that, you know, knowing that you have that, you know what I mean? That's why it's got to be all love, bro. You feel me? Like, always got to be love. That's your boy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. So empathy, man. You got to think of other people like yourself, bro. We make mistakes. You know what I mean? All that good stuff, bro. You know, you just... You feel me? And this situation for me, I just think that, yeah, you know, it's not a good look, you know what I mean? But I definitely believe that, you know, bro still got a career, still doing this thing, and you know, if you know, he can definitely come out. Humility takes place. He can do his thing. You feel me? Like, he just got to get humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this is just part of the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. So, well, we're gonna see how it plays out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see how it plays out. But I'm gonna catch you on the next stream, man. I'm about to go chill for a little bit, and then we're gonna be on live on the Bro Talk channel later on. So tap in for sure. Appreciate everybody on here. Of course, comment, share, follow, subscribe, right? Thumbs up, like, all the things. You know what I'm saying? Next stream, let's go up, man. Let's go up. We hitting the mark. Let's go. Let's get to it. Peace and blessings.